Oh, what is the Fskis, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXWrestleCast. We're on episode 125 of my wrestling recap show, where once a week I go through all of the major WWE and AEW shows, give you the recap, give you the review, let you know what's going on storyline-wise, and at the end of the show, I give out my 3 stars of the week, awarding my 3 favorite matches that I witnessed with my eyeballs that week. And when there is a pay-per-view such as AEW's Dynasty, there will be a separate pay-per-view review for said pay-per-views. So let's dive into it with AEW's Dynasty in St. Louis, Missouri. We are kicking off this show with the AEW Continental Championship match. JR is joining commentary for this one, so you know it's big. It's Okada defending against Pac, the first time these two men have fought each other in a singles match. Let's dive into it. Okada DDTs Pac onto the floor. Just a ridiculous sell from Pac, like fucking scorpions himself. Damn near looks like he breaks his own neck. Pac with a nice springboard moonsault and a stiff missile dropkick off of the top rope. Okada with a fingered salute to St. Louis fans. The fans respond with a fuck you, Okada. Okada was going to do one of his big, his, taunt, and then instead he gives them the middle finger. That was some good shit, man. I love you, Okada. You're funny. Pac misses a black arrow attempt. Pac counters Okada's neckbreaker into a brutalizer submission. That was really impressive. Okada racks Pac's eyes to escape out of the brutalizer. Okada knees up, blocks another black arrow attempt, and oh my god, man. Pac's jaw smashing into Okada's knees on that fall looked horrific. Rainmaker, and Okada retains. Damn, very good wrestling match to open up Dynasty. Like I said, first time Okada and Pac have had a singles match. Both of them were selling awesomely. Pac in particular, that guy, Jesus, his selling is out of control. Okada's emotions throughout were very funny. His facials were great. Very technically impressive from both men with the counters. Smooth transitions. Obviously, some hard-hitting strikes thrown in there. Probably not as many as maybe they were hoping, because Okada took an ass-kicking the night before. So maybe he was like, take it easy on my chest, bro. But, still a good start for these two in their first match against each other. Really looking forward to them having another match. This one just felt like it was just scratching the surface. They have a lot more to deliver, but they're not going to give us everything on the first match. But yeah, as long as Pac's jaw isn't broken, they should be fighting again. 7.5 out of 10 for this one. We move on now to a trios tag team match, my favorite. It's House of Black. Malachi Black, Brody King, Buddy Matthews versus Eddie Kingston, Mark Briscoe, and Edge. Briscoe using a chair to nail a springboard senton. Very Sabu-like. I love it. Thumbs up. We get a Tower of Doom is dissected into 2 spots. Pretty awesome. It's like the double power bomb and then a superplex after. I like that, kind of breaking it up into 2 pieces. We get a spinning back fist from Eddie, Educator from Edge, the Froggy Bow combo from Mark on Brody, but the House of Black make the save. Team Edge with trifecta spears on House of Black. Edge spear on Malachi is stopped by Malachi's poison mist. The end spinning back kick, and the House of Black grab the W. Whoa. Hard-hitting trios match, as expected, of course. You got Brody King and Eddie Kingston. It's going to be stiff. Lots of stiff shots all throughout the match. Didn't feel like a pay-per-view level match, in my opinion. If they added, no DQ, maybe even just, tornado that bitch up and let them all get in there brawling, that would have been wonderful. But, I don't know, it just felt like a standard Collision match, honestly. solid pace throughout. Like, it was a good trios match for what it was, but for a pay-per-view, 6 out of 10. We get a TBS Championship match. It is Julia Hart defending against Willow Nightingale. The house rules are no interference or rope breaks. Willow explodes out of the gate all over Julia Hart. Hart fights back, goes for the moonsault. Willow's boot to Julia's face stops the moonsault. Willow nails the sit-out powerbomb, pins, and no! TBS champion, it is Willow Nightingale. Goddamn, yes, that is awesome. So happy for Willow, she deserves it. Match was fine. More of a statement win here, I think, for Willow, who was super focused out of the gate. Honestly, just plowed through Julia, like, just dominated. Hart, good run as champion. She has improved immensely since becoming the champion. Her gimmick is just really badass. Wrestling's improved. This match was fine. 5 out of 10. And then Mercedes Moné comes out looking incredible, as she always does. Faces off with the new champion. Willow will defend versus Moné May 26th at Double or Nothing. Oh, baby. Put that one on your calendar. That's going to be a banger. We move on to the International Championship match. Roderick Strong defending against Kyle O'Reilly. Roddy catches Kyle's kick, nails a mean backbreaker, damn near blowing out his own knee in the process. Looked freaking horrific. Cool backbreaker onto the top turnbuckle by Roddy. Kyle locks in the knee bar. Roddy kicking Kyle in the face to get out of it. Looked vicious as hell. Wardlow arrives, distracting the referee. That backfires on Roddy, leads to a big Kyle O'Reilly comeback. Roddy hits the end of Heartache, though, retains the International Championship. Damn, that was an awesome wrestling match between familiar foes. They've been going after each other since like 2009 in Ring of Honor. Non-stop pace, lots of stiff shots, my goodness. Roddy, ruthless onslaught of backbreakers. Kyle, great counters, and of course his selling. Oh, I love his selling so much. Awesome chemistry, great match. 8 out of 10. Now we move to the FTW Championship match. Hook defending against Chris Jericho. FTW rules, which means no disqualification and falls count anywhere. Hook forearm off of the apron, doesn't hit Jericho at all, just misses that, and Jericho sells it anyway. Hook German suplexes Chris, almost cracks Chris's head on the steel steps. Thankfully everyone's okay. Hook T-bone suplexes Jericho off of the apron through a table. Nice job. Well, sort of. I mean, kind of an awkward throw, but Jericho makes it. We get go home Jericho chants from the crowd. Not very nice. Chris, trash can on his head, takes another T-bone from Hook. We get the red rum is locked in by Hook now. Chris crushes Hook into a table to escape out of that. Walls of Jericho is locked in now. Hook escapes out of that. Jericho, low blow. Chris says, I am so sorry. Nails a Judas Effect elbow, but Hook kicks out. Another elbow from Chris and another hook out from Hook. Chris pissed off now. Chris is pissed. Now he grabs a baseball bat, threatens Hook with it. Double middle fingers from Hook. Chris says, fuck it, nails Hook with the bat right to the head. And new FTW champion, Chris Jericho. My goodness, I kind of like the ending of this match. Made Hook look really strong, but in the ring, Hook didn't look very good. Kind of a sloppy performance from both guys, honestly. Not the best performance from either men. FTW rules helped out quite a lot. Thankfully, that was in effect. Jericho, just not the best fit, man, for Hook. It's not working for me. Like, at this point, Jericho's like, you know, he's getting up there in age, and Hook is very green, very new, and I just don't think the dynamic is there. Like, Jericho can't carry Hook, and he just doesn't have it in him, and Hook just isn't good enough to carry the match with Jericho. I just don't think Hook's skill is there yet. And I'm not all that big on his gimmick. Like, it's hard to have a character that only says 3 words, doesn't talk very much. He's very much supposed to be like, I don't know, trying to get the fuckboy crowd. I don't get it. He's got fuckboy hair. He's acting like a fuckboy. And I don't know. I don't really like what they're doing with Hook. I liked it at the start where he was just this stoic badass that would come in and just speak with his fists, and now he's just becoming this kind of whiny, like, I do whatever I want. I don't know. I'm not that big of a fan of Hook, honestly. And do not like this feud that they've had going on for the last few weeks. Didn't like this match that much. 4.5 out of 10. Taz comes to the aid of his son, Hook. Jericho seems very, very upset about it. He didn't want to hurt Hook. He didn't want to do this. Maybe we give Hook some time away for a little bit more seasoning, help him out a little more in the ring. Let's end this feud and just move off of it. I don't know. But I'm done rings with Hook and Jericho. Like, I'm done with it. I don't like it. It sucks. Moving on. AEW Women's Championship match. Timeless Toni Storm with Luther and Mariah May defending against Thunder Rosa. Rosa spinning dive off of the top takes out the champion and Luther. Luther is down. Thunder hits a stiff powerbomb and a missile drop kick. Toni takes a Death Valley driver on the apron. Toni is getting her ass whooped right now. And then Toni finally comes to life with a tornado DDT and a fisherman buster. Rosa gnarly stomped to Toni's face. My God, that thing was vicious. Mariah's distraction is stopped by Deonna Purrazzo. Luther's spear out of nowhere. He misses that. Goes crashing into the steel steps. Luther is having himself a really rough night. Toni hits the hip attack and a Storm Zero, but Rosa kicks out of that. Toni locks in the clover leaf, but Rosa able to get to the ropes. Toni escapes a chokehold, distracts Brinsberg with the apron because he's an idiot. Toni low blow to Thunder Rosa, nails another Storm Zero, and retains the AEW Women's Championship. Whoa, that was a banger. That was awesome. Maybe Timeless Toni's best match so far under the Timeless Toni gimmick. Really like that. Loved Rosa's aggressive, stiff performance. She just dominated the first half of the match. Just big move after big move. But Toni showing off her resilience. She came back. Strong chemistry with Rosa. I would really like these two to continue on with this. That was a great match. Crowd liked it. They were cheering loudly for both women. Edge to Toni, but Rosa was getting love out there. Really good. 8 out of 10. That was a great match. Now we get to the dream match. It's Bryan Danielson versus Will, by God, Ospreay. Beautiful technical wrestling to warm up the crowd. Ospreay then a smooth as silk backflip over Bryan. That pops the crowd. They're going nuts now. Thumbs up for that. Ospreay backflips off of Bryan, hits a beautiful corkscrew dive to the outside. Ospreay front flip counter out of the Frankensteiner. Like, oh my God, dude. Thumbs up. Gorgeous. While Bryan lands hard on his neck. My God, dude. So during that Frankensteiner, Bryan just absolutely looked like he broke his freaking neck. Referee misses it completely. Like, no one even goes to check on poor Bryan. Like, oh my God, that was really, really scary. Thankfully, Bryan gets up. Danielson avalanche tiger suplex. Holy shit, that bump for Ospreay. Like a tiger suplex, like your arms are tied up, so you got like no arms to take the bump. Just brutal. Thumbs up. Oz cutter to Danielson on the apron. Ospreay nails a hidden blade. Wicked powerbomb, but Bryan kicks out all that. Danielson, awesome counter into the label lock, transitions into a brutal shoulder extension, damn near rips out Ospreay's shoulder. Ospreay gets his foot on the rope. Ospreay backflips out of a German suplex, misses a hidden blade, and runs right into Danielson's psycho knee. Ospreay kicks out of that. Danielson nasty stomp to Will's face. Ospreay just explodes with a one-armed Styles Clash out of nowhere. Holy shit. Thumbs up. Will eats a suplex, nails a hidden blade, goes for the Oz cutter, but Danielson counters with a psycho knee to the face, and he nailed him. Knee right to the face. Thumbs up. Both men standing in the corner, they're like cowboys, they're like draw, and then they charge at each other. It's Ospreay's hidden blade beating out the psycho knee. The hidden blade wins the duel. Tiger driver drops Danielson hard on his neck. Another hidden blade, and Ospreay wins. Oh my God. Another banger, bruv. Goodness gracious. If I had my hands free, I would clap right now. Incredible performance from both men. Ospreay, just insane. Highlight counters and high flying. Everything this guy does is incredible. Danielson, masterful striking and technical wrestling. Brutally stiff with relentless pace throughout. Like, they didn't miss a fucking beat. Not a wasted second. Just amazing. Both taking brutal bumps. Danielson, especially with his neck. Really scary stuff. Beautiful chemistry in the ring. Crowd was amazing. So was this match. 9.5 out of 10. Can't give it a 10 just yet because these two are going to go after it again. And I have to leave myself open for a 10. Danielson injured by the Tiger Driver. Medical checks on Danielson. Ospreay very, very concerned. I don't think it's a real injury or anything, but still, with all of Danielson's neck history and all those injuries that he's had, it's obviously a big concern. So hopefully that he's doing okay, but he is one of the best, so he could be just selling really, really well. So we move on now from that unbelievable match. How are you going to top that? Well, they're going to throw the ladder match at us next for the vacant AEW Tag Team Championships. It is the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, versus FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood. We get into it. Dax tosses Nicholas off of the top onto the ladders and then backdrops Matthew onto the ladder as well. Oh boy, this is just the beginning. Dax a bloody mess after he trips and falls face first into the ladder, into the steel steps and shit. He's a mess. Cash falls nuts first in between the ladder and then takes an EVP trigger from the Bucks. How you doing? That was probably painful. Matthew speared off of the ropes through a table, bum first. That was a good little bump. Dax is hurricanra'd through a table. FTR superplex splash combo off of the ladder. That was awesome. Thumbs up for that. Really well executed. Nicholas, perfect. And I say perfect. 450 splash to Cash Wheeler through the table. Thumbs up for that. Same time, though, Dax pile drives Matthew onto a ladder. Like, oh my god, man. It's just nonstop. Wheeler crash and burns through a table. He misses the dive, and he went all in on that dive. He was going maximum speed, and he just flies into that table. That was awesome. Dax all alone now with the belts. A masked person runs into the ring, attacks Dax. It's Jack Perry, Jungle Boy. Oh my goodness. The Bucks slither up and grab the belts, becoming the new AEW Tag Team Champions, EVPs, the Young Bucks. Oh my goodness. They did it, back-to-back bangers. I thought it would be really hard to follow up that match, but they did a great job. Just a car wreck of a ladder match. So many brutal bumps, ladders, chairs, tables, you name it. It was a TLC match, but whatever. I did notice, though, that neither of the teams were going up for the belts that often. Like, maybe 3 or 4 times they went up there going after them, but it was mostly just about kicking the shit out of each other, which was nice. FTR, great performance. Cash really, really went all out. I mean, everybody did, but I really noticed Cash out there, so thumbs up for you. 8.5 out of 10. That was an awesome ladder match. And it's going to be very interesting to see what Jack Perry does now that he is back. No CM Punk now, so that was the initial problem with Jack Perry, is he did not get along very well at all with CM Punk. Now he's gone, so I don't know what's going to happen with Jack Perry here, but I'm happy to see him back. And now we know this is a big one because JR is back on commentary for the main event match. AEW World Championship on the line. Samoa Joe defends against Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana. We get a cool entrance for Swerve. Crowd going absolutely banana. I think he was doing the Black Panther outfit. Really cool mask. It looked awesome. I really like his tights as well. We get into the match now. Joe Uranagi Swerve onto the announce table really early, and then Joe exposes the concrete floor. Swerve hits a lovely dive, nails Joe, but then Joe flattens Swerve with that nasty power slam onto the concrete. Like, oh my god, that's gotta hurt. Swerve targets Joe's bad arm, and then Joe nails a muscle buster out of nowhere. Swerve kicks out of that. Joe is absolutely shocked. He grabs the AEW title, looking to do some damage, but Swerve nails the house call, stops Joe in his tracks. 450 splashes Joe's face into the title belt, hits the double stomp off of the top rope, pins, and Joe kicks out. Joe locks in the coquina clutch, but he doesn't get it in all that tight because his arm is absolutely mangled. Swerve snaps Joe's arm, hits another house call. Joe kicks out again. Swerve plugs Joe's nose to restrict his breathing. Okie dokie, it works. He nails a power bomb on Joe off of the top rope. Double stomp pins. And new AEW World Champion. Whose house? Swerve's house. Swerve Strickland becoming the first African-American World Champion in AEW history. That's a thumbs up. My goodness, Swerve finally climbs the mountain of AEW World Champion. Very, very deserved. Great performance from Swerve, taking a lot of rough bumps with tons of emotion throughout the match. Samoa Joe, a nice giving performance, made Swerve look really good. He sold all of Swerve's moves, really made it look really devastating. With the second one, Joe's like, the second stomp, Joe's like reaching up. He's like, no, and just wham, he was all in. A really good job from Joe. And yeah, he went down swinging too. He didn't go down like easily. He put it all in there with Strickland throwing bombs at him, and not a lot of interference, which is greatly appreciated. I would have hated a bunch of shenanigans and cooks in the kitchen, yucking Swerve's yum. I really wanted it to be one-on-one with Nana out there, just doing a little thing or two. That's okay, but I wanted it's fucking Swerve's moment, and I didn't want anybody else, getting in there and mucking it all up. It's really nice that there wasn't a bunch of shenaniganery. Wild near falls kept the crowd crazy and on edge the whole entire match. They were excellent. A great match. 8 out of 10. Swerve gets the big celebration with I imagine there was fireworks and some confetti and all that great stuff to end the night. And just a great moment there for Swerve. Congratulations to him. And oh, buddy, I would imagine Hangman is going to have a thing or two to say about this. And now Swerve, he shut down all the haters. He won the big title in the big time at the big moment. So yeah, he shut down everybody. Now it's time for him to defend as a champion, and very excited to see where he's going to go for his matches. I think they obviously have to get to Hangman, but who else is going to get in there? And when the fuck is MJF going to come back? All that great stuff. But regardless, a very fun run for Samoa Joe. I didn't expect it to be a long run, and it probably shouldn't have been anyway. It was more of a, I don't say transitional champion as a bad thing. Like, Joe did a great job as a transitional champion, putting over Swerve and, keeping the feud alive with Hangman. Like, he did a great job, and very happy Samoa Joe gets to be world champion. They did not give that to him in WWE, and I don't think I will ever let that go. He did get the NXT champion, but anyway, that's the end of the show. Great first pay-per-view to kick off the season for the GXWrestleCast. Again, I am just not feeling the Hook Jericho situation at all. Crowd really dislikes Chris Jericho now. Like, I mentioned this a few episodes ago when I went to see I think it was Dynamite live, and like everybody in the crowd hated Chris Jericho. And putting him with Hook right now, it's just not working. So I would cut bait with that, but now Jericho's FTW champion, so I don't know. I don't know. I would say put Hook away for a little bit, but it looks like they're planning on keeping this going, involving Taz now, so oh boy, we'll see where that goes. I don't like it. Trios tag with Edge just kind of felt like a Collision main event match. It was fine, but again, you needed some stipulations, something in there to make it feel more like a pay-per-view match. It just wasn't there. And then Willow and Julia, I was hoping for more of a competitive match, but it's still, I think they were using it more for a statement victory, at least I hope anyway. For Willow, just plowing through Julia, dealing with her so we can work our way to Mercedes Moné versus Willow Nightingale, which is going to be a huge match. I'm super excited because I didn't see these two go after each other in New Japan, and just thinking of the two styles clashing, I think it's going to be unreal. So looking forward to that. Julia, a really strong run as champion for her. My question is like, what's next for her? I don't think she's someone that really needs a championship. She's got a great gimmick going on there, but yeah, we'll see where it goes for Julia for sure. It's going to be interesting. But there were a lot of banger matches. I mean, Tony versus Thunder Rosa, that was dope. Probably Timeless Tony's best match, and I would love for these two to continue this feud because that's been some really good shit for the women's division, I think. That's kind of been lacking, so I would like that to continue. Roddy versus Kyle, that was another banger between familiar foes. Ladder match, of course, I'm going to love that, and it was a really damn fine ladder match. And then the main event, all were great as well. Main event ending on a high note, Swerve finally gets the championship, so well done there. But my favorite match of the night, Danielson versus Ospreay, oh my goodness, early match of the year contender already. It's on the list, and we'll see how many more times these two get onto the list. Now that Danielson is pretty healthy looking, we'll see about the neck, and that now Ospreay is officially all elite, so he is, oh buddy, it's going to be fun watching him have banger after banger with everybody that he gets into the ring with. Yeah, and St. Louis, a great crowd. They shat all over the Jericho Hook match, but I don't blame them at all for it. It sucked. It just wasn't any good. I don't blame them at all. Great show, great crowd, 8 out of 10 for Dynasty, and let me know what was your favorite match of the night, and what was your least favorite match of the night. Do we agree? Did we disagree? I wish I could have got my predictions done before I watched the show, so no predictions. I wouldn't feel right telling you who I would have picked and stuff like that, because, you know, that's not right. So hopefully next time I can get in predictions, remember to get those in. But I enjoyed the show overall. Very long, 3 fucking hours or whatever. It was a very long show. They did, it felt like a good pay-per-view. I don't like too much bullshit in between stuff, like segments in between. WWE does that. I like a good, clean pay-per-view. I felt like the matches didn't feel too similar to each other. They threw in a ladder match in there, and yeah, so, the trios tag, it helped, but yeah, I didn't get too bored with it, but it's a long show, but it was a good one. 8 out of 10 for Dynasty, and there you go. There is the pay-per-view review for Dynasty. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show and enjoyed the episode. I upload all of these episodes to the YouTube channel, Gamer GX Videos. There is a link down there you can follow. Great place to drop a comment or a question for the podcast you want it answered live. I would love to shout you out, answer your question on a podcast. That'd be so much fun and stuff. And there's a Twitter page to follow along with for announcements and what kind of stuff I have planned. Speaking of planned, this week we're going to be doing the Yakuza Like a Dragon review finally. Very long game, but I'm pretty much, I should be done with it, so there should be the review for that this week. I just did the Fallout 3 retrospective. That was a lot of fun. I love that freaking game so much, so if you like Fallout and you're itching for Fallout stuff, there's a retrospective from last week to go check out. We're into the playoffs now. I'm literally watching Boston-Toronto. Game 2 right now. We're in intermission, so I'm going to go up there and probably have my heart ripped out in the third period, as always, as a Leaf fan, but that's okay. We'll talk about it. We'll have a good old therapy session on, we'll say Wednesday or something like that for the hockey cast. Sound good? Sound good. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. You're awesome. You want to be even more awesome, hit that like and subscribe and rate the podcast. Tell everybody about the podcast. Help the little guy out over here. And of course, let me know what was your favorite match, worst match, all that great stuff, and stick around with the GX Plus cast.